5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thunderbirds are go.
International rescue. So, now your members seek further glory in the hunting of ancient treasures. But this time, you will fail. Treasure that international rescue seeks will be mine. They and their expedition will be buried at the bottom of Lake Anasta. And you, Kirano, my half-brother, you will help me. Kirano! Kirano! It is useless to resist my power. The secret of the lake must be mine. Speak! Kirano! Speak! Answer me! When does the International Rescue Expedition set off?
They are leaving tomorrow to make a survey of the temple.
And don't forget to save me a gem or two, Tintin. Everybody's giving them as Christmas presents this year.
Right, Scott. Anything special you would like, John? How about a bright little diamond?
Well, I think I'd rather have a dirty old, bar of gold.
Do you think you're really going to find buried treasure down there, Brains?
I sure think so, Mr. Tracy. It seems 90% certain that there's something at the bottom of that lake.
Yes, and it's as good an excuse as any to have a vacation. I saw all those fetching new swimsuits you've had sent on, Tintin.
Well, vacation or not, you deserve a break, both of you. Ah, Kirano, all set?
Yes, Mr. Tracy. Everything is ready.
Ah, good. Virgil's ready for launching, Tintin. You and Brains better make your way to the passenger elevator. Your father and I are going to the end of the strip to watch the launching. Scott, take over the talk bath for the launch.
Yes, Father.
Only 10 short days, Kirano, and then she'll be back.
That is what I keep telling myself, Mr. Tracy. But I can't shake off these fears.
Come now, Kirano. There's nothing to fear. A beautiful lake miles and miles from anywhere. What could be safer?
Sand. Sand, nothing but sand. How much further before I get to this lake? At last.
Oh, look, Brains. The pyramids. We're nearly at the rendezvous.
And we're well up to time, too.
Just think, Brains. In a few more hours, we'll be down there. What do you suppose Professor Blakely will be like?
Well, from what I've heard, he's quite a character. The best man in his field.
Now look, when we get down there and I drop the pod, you've got to move fast. We mustn't let the professor know that you're connected with international rescue in any way.
That's right, Virgil. And if he asks, we came out to the Middle East by charter flight.
All set, Brains?
FAB.
Right. Going in to land now. Okay, Scott. I'm on my way home again.
Right, Virgil. You keep in touch.
Well, I hope our sort of secret landing passed off sort of secretly. And now to meet up with Professor Blakely.
He should be at the crossroads 3 miles along this road. He's coming down the other desert highway.
By Jingo, what was that?
Nothing, Master. Nothing. Have no fears, Master. I am exquisite driver. Only half-mile to go.
Well, I just hope we make it, that's all. Got an appointment I'm rather anxious to keep.
Oh, it's beautifully cool in here.
Yeah. Well, Tintin, it's got to be. With temperatures of up to 112 in the shade outside.
What on earth was that?
Professor Blakely, I presume.
What? Mr. Brains, is it?
Yes, Professor Blakely. That's right.
Glad to meet you at last, old boy.
I'm sure glad to meet you too, old boy. May I introduce you to my assistant, Miss Tintin Kirano?
You're delighted, I'm sure. Charming. Well, Brains, this is the day of reckoning. The proof of the pudding is in the eating and all that. What?
What? Yeah. Well, now, what would you like to do first, Professor Blakely?
Well, I thought we might trot down to the old lake and make an old recce, Let me just pay off this cabbie and I'll be right with you. What's the damage then, old boy?
6 acres, please, master. Thank you, master. Good safari. Oh, yes.
Perhaps you would care to come into the caravan, sir, for a cooling drink before we set off.
Yes, but I dare say the treasure can wait. Don't think anyone's going to steal it from under our noses, eh?
Look, Professor. It's the Anasta pipeline. That means the lake must be quite near.
That's right, my dear. With a bit of luck, we can have a quick look at the temple before nightfall, what?
Yes, certainly, Professor. We'll do just that.
There it is. Lake Anasta.
Excellent. My friends are just in time. In fact, dead on time.
Well, Professor, we're just gonna take our first look at the temple.
Oh, well, jolly good luck.
Just think. We'll be the first people to set eyes on the temple for over 100 years.
Well, 100 years may have affected the stonework, so be careful when you're down there. It could be treacherous.
We will.
Be sure and bring me back something interesting.
There it is. It's the temple.
Now, be very careful, Tintin. Professor Blakely was right. It doesn't look too solid.
Good. They're going to lead me straight to the treasure.
Now, the problem is, which column contains the treasure?
Let's try that one over there.
You know, Tintin, you may be right. This could be the one.
Let's take a sample of it back to the professor.
Oh, Professor, I'm going to bring you up a sample from the central column.
A jolly good show. You bring it up and we'll have a look at it before lights out.
Found something. They have found the treasure. But where? I think I can persuade them to tell me.
Say, look there, Professor. What's that?
Well, Professor, what about it?
Mr. Brains, Miss Kirano, I'm glad to say that the Anasta expedition is a success. You have located the lost treasure.
Brains, we must radio Mr. Tracy right away and tell him.
Oh, beautiful. Just beautiful. I always knew my theory was correct. And tomorrow, oh boy, tomorrow, I can collect lots more evidence. Huh? Hey, what was that? Who are you? What do you want?
Who are you?
Great news, everybody. Brains radioed in last night to tell me that they had traced the lost treasure in the lake.
Say, that is good news. When did he tell you this?
He reported in before turning in for the night. He and Tintin went down to the underwater temple as soon as they got there.
Well, they should be coming through with their next routine contact call soon, so I shall convey them our congratulations then. Why, Grandma, what's the matter? You look like you'd swallowed your egg spoon.
Well, I don't know what Tintin wants to go down hunting that treasure for. She's got enough pretty jewelry already.
Ah, but they're not going down there to rob the temple. It's all in the interest of science. Now, whatever they find goes back with Professor Blakely to the International Museum of Archaeology.
Well, back to work, I suppose. I'm going up to the lounge to wait for the next call from Brains. Gee, they must be feeling pleased with themselves.
Tintin? Tintin, what happened? Tintin? Professor, where are you? What happened? Oh, that stranger with those eyes, those staring eyes. What happened? Oh, I'm so thirsty. I've got to get some water. Tintin! Professor? Tintin! Professor! Oh, it's no use. He must have got them, too. If only I could get to the radio.
What would you do then, my friend? Inform your friends at International Rescue? No, that is out of the question, I'm afraid.
Where are the others? What have you done with the others?
I shall deal with them later. But first, I want some information from you. Where is the treasure concealed in the underwater temple?
Water. I've gotta have some water.
Answer my question. I saw you come from the temple with some of the treasure. Where is the rest of it?
I don't know who you are, but please let me have some water.
Tell me where the gold is, and then I shall let you and your friends go. It is a simple choice to make.
I don't get it. Brains has never been late before. Let's try again. Brains, are you receiving me? There's nothing on auto transmission either. Look, Kirana, go and fetch Scott, will you?
Yes, Mr. Tracy.
Anasta Expedition Base from International Rescue Headquarters. Do you read me? Come in, Anasta. Do you read me? Nothing. Not a whisper.
Well, what's up, Father? Carano seemed to think there was something wrong at the lake.
I just don't understand it. Brains hasn't checked in yet, and he's overdue now by 14 minutes. Did everything seem all right last night when he called in?
Yes, Father. He seemed in great spirits. He said that the others had turned in for the night, and he was just about to do the same thing himself. Well, what about his tape call and auto transmission? It could be they're just busy.
No, there's nothing on that either. I've tried both channels.
Well, it's certainly not like Brains to lose contact completely, like this. Father, it's...
Yes, it's the emergency signal. Right, that settles it. You better get out there, Scott. Fast.
Yes, sir.
All right, Scott. Virgil will be following you. Proceed at maximum speed.
You betcha, Father.
International Rescue from Anasta base and water.
Just 9 more minutes, I shall go to see whether my friend from International Rescue has changed his mind. No man can stay in a burning sun so long without having his tongue loosened.
Approaching the danger zone now, Father.
FAB.
International rescue! What is happening?
I've been overflying the danger zone, Father.
Well,
Well, it all looks very quiet to me. Perhaps too quiet.
isn't there any sign of life, Scott?
Well, the caravans are there at the edge of the lake. But I can see no sign of Brains or Tintin.
Right. Now hear this. Thunderbirds 1 and 2 from International Rescue. I want tri-circuit contact maintained at all times. Is that clear?
Yes, Father.
Yes, Father.
Virgil, what's your ETA?
ETA now 2.5 minutes, Father.
Father!
Yes?
Father, I can see Brains. Down below in the sand.
So?
He's buried in the sand. Up to his neck. I'm going down now.
And Tintin? What about Tintin?
So, they have found my victim in the sand. However, I can turn the setback to my advantage. I now have the chance to destroy International Rescue utterly after they have led me to the treasure.
This is Thunderbird 2. Estimated time of arrival now 1 minute.
Water. Please. Give me water.
Brains? Who on earth did this to you?
Oh, Scott. Scott. Thank heaven. Where's Tintin?
I don't know, fella. We'll soon find her. Now, don't you worry about a thing. First, I'm going to get you out of here.
Good. A veritable swarm of Thunderbirds. Now for the first part of my plan.
Tintin!
So how do you feel now, Brains?
Oh, I'm all right, but Tintin, she's gonna be okay. But the professor's not so good.
Okay, Tintin. Try again. There was this stranger, you said.
Yes, that's right. And he had these terrible eyes that I couldn't look away from. And as he spoke, I felt I was slipping away all the time. It was horrible.
Who do you think it could have been, Tintin? Did you recognize him?
No, I had never seen him before in my life, and yet I felt I knew him in some far-off way. Oh, Virgil, I'm so sleepy still.
Okay, you just take it easy for a bit. Scott's radioing the base to report that you're safe.
Thanks, Scott. We're all mighty relieved at the news. Meanwhile, I want all International Rescue members to come straight back to base in the morning as soon as the helicopter has taken care of Professor Blakely.
Yes, sir. And the Anasta expedition?
Listen, Scott. Brain's treasure at the bottom of the lake will have to wait. International Rescue is not set up to go joyriding round on treasure trails. At this moment, it's not even functional. Is that clear?
Yes, Father.
Oh, gee, I feel a lot better now. Say, how's the professor? Well, he's still unconscious, I'm afraid. But I guess he's gonna be okay. Oh, hi, Scott.
Hi. Well, how are the invalids?
Oh, very much better, thanks, Scott. What's the news from base?
Well, Father is going to arrange for a helicopter to ship out the professor to hospital, and then he says we've got to hot-foot it back to base.
Well, I guess he's right. We do seem to have caused a lot of trouble one way and another.
There's just one thing that puzzles me.
What's that, Scott?
After Father had gone off the air, I noticed that the photo alert had been operating.
The photo alert? But that's impossible. Who could be taking photographs of Thunderbird in this area? There's nobody within miles of us. Oh, of course. That's it. Why didn't I think of this before?
Think of what, Brains? What are you talking about?
I regret to say that this whole expedition has been used by our enemies as a means of drawing international rescue to a lonely spot. We have walked straight into a trap. Tintin, it's only me.
Brains, what are you doing up at this time of night?
Tintin, I haven't been able to sleep for worry.
What about?
Well, you heard what Mr. Tracy said about the Anasta expedition having caused international rescue a lot of trouble.
Yes, but I don't think he meant we had done it deliberately.
No, but I feel awfully guilty about it, and to cap it all, we've got someone spying on us.
It must be the same person who hypnotized us yesterday.
Yeah, that's what I figured. And there's only one place he could be observing us from. The center of the lake. Now, look, Tintin. I've got to try and make amends for all the trouble I've caused.
Brains, you're not going out into the lake tonight.
Tintin, I am. I'm gonna see what's down there. Now, here's what I want you to do. Would you keep in touch with me all the time on Talkback?
All right, Brains, but I don't like it.
I'm approaching the temple now, Tintin. I'm gonna take a look in there.
Be careful, Brains, please.
Professor Blakely was definitely right, Tintin. We had found the right column.
Brains, is there anyone down there?
No, Tintin. There appears to be no one down here.
So, I have visitors. My little alarm system works.
What's the matter, Brains?
Tintin, I think I'm onto something. I found a cable leading from this column. And, hey, here's another one.
Brains, I don't like it. I'm going to go and waken Scott and the others.
No, Tintin. There's no need for that yet.
Oh, brains! I tried to stop him, but he wouldn't listen.
Come on. We've got to get down there right away.
Now to get the treasure before his friends find him.
Stand by for launch, Gordon.
Ep.8, Virgil. Thunderbird 4 to Thunderbird 2 on base control. Commencing launch. Thunderbird 4 to Anasta base. Submerging now.
Well, let me know if you need any help, Gordon.
FAB. The temple is in ruins, Scott. Brains couldn't have survived.
Well, search the area, Gordon. If he is alive, he's got about 7 minutes of oxygen left.
Not a sign, Scott. I'll try again, but it doesn't look too good.
Right, Gordon. There's still 5.5 minutes.
Scott, there's air bubbles coming from under some rubble here. Hurry! Bring the aerostatic lifting kit. It might be brains.
It's on its way, Gordon.
Virgil, I'm gonna start clearing.
So, at last. Now to destroy international rescue and then collect the treasure.
I'm being attacked. There's another craft down here. Keep Scott clear until I call for him.
my motors! They're flooding!
Oh, Virgil, what happened?
Gordon, what happened? Gordon, do you read me?
I'll explain later. Get Scott down here fast. I'm going after Brains.
Better go and make the professor comfortable, Tintin. The helicopter's due in 3 minutes.
Yes, Virgil.
How's it going, Gordon?
Well, Brains found its treasure, all right. In fact, we're swimming in it. Now we're gonna release the lifting kit.
Oh, dear. I hope the professor understands.
How do you mean, Tintin?
Well, it looks a bit heartless shipping him out like this. Just so that he doesn't see that Brains and I belong to the International Rescue Team.
Well, I guess the best thing for him in his condition is hospitalization. But he's sure gonna get a surprise when he comes to.
Jolly nice of you to look me up like this, I must say.
We're all sure glad you're better now.
Now that the world has heard about our discoveries at Lake Anasta, how does it feel to be a celebrity, Professor?
Pretty fair, my dear, pretty fair. I say, how are you two fixed over the next few months?
Well, we do have 1 or 2 commitments. Why, Professor?
Been reading here about some old treasure sunk at the foot of the Caribbean 400 years ago. Thought you might be interested in taking a trip out there to have a look. Why, what's the hurry? Are you off then?
Visiting hours are over, Professor. I'm afraid we've got to go.
Yeah, we must dash. Well, so long, Professor.
What an odd pair. Excitement too much for them, I suppose. Not used to it.
You know, Brains, what we need is a nice, quiet rescue to soothe our nerves. Come on, let's get back to base.